Every lure falls into one of three retrieve styles. The problem is, we as anglers get trapped into the most unproductive type of retrieve without even knowing it, which, by the way, is not one of the three. The result? Way fewer bites. Well, today we're breaking down each of these retrieves and some lure examples for all of them. Once this clicks, it will completely change how you think about bass fishing. And at the end, I'll have a little chart about lure speed that I think will really help drive this video home for you. Now, every lure you grab will have a clear purpose of what we're trying to do as anglers when we fish it, or I should say, how that lure is best suited to draw, entice, or trigger strikes. Now, the first retrieve style is vulnerable. We see this all the time, but we gloss over it without really thinking about it. Here's a perfect example listed for Lake Norfolk today. As I scroll through the lures, one of them is a finesse jig, one of my favorites. When we read through the retrieve suggestion, there's a key sentence. It's right here. It sums it up perfectly. Subtle movements to mimic small, vulnerable prey. You hear me often say on this channel, easy meal. All of nature naturally balances or instinctually balances their calorie level. We need to present something with this retrieve style that is too enticing to pass up because that prey is so vulnerable or easy to capture. Vulnerable prey doesn't require a predator to chase it all over the place. This covers so many finesse presentations. A drop shot, a vulnerable minnow just sitting there. A slow swim bait retrieve falls into this same category. Think about this when fishing slow lures. It completely changes your mindset on what we are trying to accomplish. Next is a struggling retrieve. This is where the sick and dying baitfish notion fits in. Now, a jerkbait can easily fit into this idea of a struggling baitfish trying to maintain position in the water column. This lure also hits the last retrieve style we'll discuss here in a second. But back to the struggling retrieve. Soft jerkbaits mimic this so well. Even many topwaters, like a popper, mimic struggling. Another one of my favorite mental pictures when using this retrieve style is an insect on the water's surface. Fly anglers are masters of this retrieve style. Or the floating worm we just did a video on. It's a perfect example of something that appears to be struggling in the water. Struggling to stay afloat in the water column. Now let's look at the last retrieve style and my personal favorite. When we look back at Lake Norfolk lure suggestions on my deep dive app, another one of the lure recommendations is a swing head, and right here, unpredictable. And this unpredictable action includes things like the fleeing baitfish. Creatures respond or react to unpredictable movement. My dog Millie loves the erratic nature of this toy. When you throw it, because it has this handle here, it bounces unpredictably all over. She loves it. Well, apply that to your fishing. Kevin Van Dam made an entire career off of this one retrieve style. Both styles of jerkbaits also fall into this category, as well as our crankbait fishing. That random deflection off stuff can trigger fish to react. Banging spinner baits into cover is another perfect example. Every time you pick up a lure, think about which retrieve style is this going to fit. What we want to avoid is the chunk and wind without a purpose retrieve. Usually that means we are in the middle of the speed spectrum. That is the worst place to be. We want to be at one end or the other. When focusing on this, all of a sudden, you're fishing more effectively and with a purpose. It will pay off. And here's the interesting part. Each one of us naturally gravitates to one of these styles. We can't help it. One of them fits our nature best, so run with it. Take advantage of your natural skill set. And thank you to the Deep Dive app for sponsoring this video. You can check them out on the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, or follow the link down below. And if you would like to watch a video that really affected how I approach my fluke or soft jerkbait fishing, and it has to do with water column, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.